Welcome back to the Born of Levi experience here on G.O.C.C Media. How we all doing in the room this evening? Thank you guys for coming back for another Thursday edition of the Born of Levi experience here on G.O.C.C Media. How we all doing? I see you guys in the room. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Peace and blessings, family. Thank you guys for coming in. Y'all see the topic of discussion. Make America Great Again. I know y'all see the title. And I know y'all probably like, yo, what? Where is this guy going with this? Listen, it's going to make sense. It's a method to my madness. But we're going to talk about it. Make America Great Again tonight. Coming up next here on G.O.C.C Media, the Born of Levi experience. Stay tuned. Let's start the show.
This is the Born of Levi experience on G.O.C.C Media.
Yes, yes, and yes. Welcome back, brothers and sisters, to the Born of Levi experience here on G.O.C.C Media. How are we all doing in the room? How we all doing in the room? Welcome, welcome. I see some familiar names. Let me do my shout outs real quick before we get started, man. Listen, I don't want to lose nobody, but I got to shout out my faithful viewers, man. Peace and blessing, E from 33. Peace and blessings, Frederick Smith. What's going on? Steve Mega. What's going on? Christopher 144K. What's going on? Right? Who we got in here? We got Angela Wright. What's going on? Jay Negron. What's up? Come on, man. Judah Lioness. I see you. What's going on? Amya. What's going on? Lucille from Diamond Street. Okay, shalom. Peace and blessings, man, and everybody who was coming in. And if you are coming in right now, kindly hit that like button, right? Hit the like button. Share this content with as much people as you can to spread the word. Also, if you are new to this channel, welcome. And also subscribe. It's free. It don't cost you nothing. We ain't asking you for no money. Kindly subscribe. Help support this channel, right? And like I do every week, if I'm coming in, hold on, let me mute this. If I'm coming in nice and clear, please drop a qualm in the chat for your boy. All right, I see the qualms coming in. I appreciate it. I thank you. Yes, I see the qualms. All right, so that means I'm coming in nice and clear. My audio is clear. That means we're going to have a great broadcast. We're going to have a great show. We're going to have it's going to be amazing. All right? I feel energized. I just had a protein shake. All right? My mind is clear. Right? I don't got no brain fog right now. Not right now. Probably maybe a little later, I don't know. But, I'm feeling good. But we see the topic of discussion. Make America Great Again. And listen, we're going to talk about it. And there's something that we never spoke about concerning that phrase. Make America Great Again. We definitely going to talk about, we're going to discuss that this evening. I just need you all to be on board and to stick with me. And I pray that through this conversation, we all get to learn something. Especially if you're new to this channel, you've never heard anything about this space before, stick around and listen to the conversation. Listen to the words that's going to be coming out. Listen to the scriptures that's going to be coming out to make this make sense for you all. Because they keep talking about this Make America Great Again. We gonna see how we supposed to do that. We gonna see. And it's always the same song and dance. Y'all want to make America great, but y'all forgetting who helped y'all made America great. So we gonna talk about it. Listen, we're gonna talk about it tonight, right? We're gonna talk about it. We definitely gonna get into it. But I'm happy that you guys are here. Like I said earlier, I hope that you guys, you brothers and sisters, had a blessed week. Pray that you guys were safe. You and your children were safe. Also pray that you guys are enduring, because we all enduring. Gotta endure. Christ said it, man. Christ said what? He who endures unto the end, the same shall be saved. So listen, we ain't going nowhere until we endure. So let's continue to endure, man. But welcome once again. Continue to hit that like button. Y'all doing a great job with hitting the like button. I appreciate every single like. That this definitely helps the algorithm, right? But before we continue, let me make this announcement really quickly. So we have the Hebrew and Bible Academy, brothers and sisters, that will be starting this Sunday, I should say. This Sunday, our Hebrew and Bible Academy is starting Sunday, July 12th. You're invited, right? Please visit us at historytimes.org to enroll. So much information comes out on this in the academy, man. Listen, you don't want to miss out this wealth of information with the news, live news reporting, real news reporting, I should say. Nothing, no fluff, no coercion going on, or just speaking about fluff pieces to make you feel like, all right, things is going good. Yeah. Right. And I always say this, when you listen to the actual news, the only feel good story be about a cat or a dog. You don't be hearing no feel good stories about people all the time. Like, it is, when it comes to people, it's about what? Some type of conspiracy, somebody getting unalived, a fire, car crash. Then the next then right after that, the feel good story is, yeah, we saved the cat from a tree. Nah, we don't do none of that over here at the Hebrew and Bible Academy. We give you real-time news, world events, right? Prophecy watch. So you don't want to miss that. You want to, like I said, you want to visit us at historytimes.org to enroll. All right. Thank you guys for your participation. Oh, that still came up on the screen, but it's okay. Y'all can see it again. So, another thing as well too. I'm so excited too. And let me put this on the screen as well too. So tomorrow guys, this is another announcement. Tomorrow I'll be premiering my little docu-series. I believe I'm gonna do like 4 episodes. I think I'm gonna do about 4 episodes. I'm pushing for 4. So the first episode is dropping tomorrow. Okay, the first episode is dropping tomorrow. Erased faces, of history is a little documentary, a docu-series that I'm putting together, and trust me, this first episode is going to build up to the climax of the 4th episode. So you don't want to miss out. It's a premiere, so it's going to be a live premiere tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. Gives you guys enough time to get home from work, or if you're getting off work, you can listen to it on your way home from work. So visit over here, the Born of Levi Experience YouTube. I'm going to be dropping this premiere. Listen, you don't want to miss out. And the first episode, as you can see, the title is The Broken Nose Mystery. And I've even learned something from, by doing this documentary and doing this research. I found out something that was very, very interesting when it comes to the Broken Nose Mystery. That's all I'm going to give you. I ain't going to give you too much because you got to watch it. You got to tune in. So this is premiering tomorrow, 6:30. You don't want to miss out episode 1. All right. Like I said, it's gonna be a 4-part series. So tomorrow, episode 1 is definitely dropping, and I want you guys to be tuned in. And I got some caveats in there too. So it's gonna be like a little quiz, like during the I put quizzes in there during the broadcast or the live premiere. You'll be asked certain questions and have to answer. So I think I'm gonna start incorporating that, as I go too, because that's fun too, and it helps people retain the information or whatever the case is. So don't forget, tomorrow, 6:30 p.m. at the Born to Levi Experience channel, we're going to be premiering this docuseries, Erased Faces of History. Episode 1 will be the broken nose mystery. So yes, tune in, brothers and sisters. Tune in. I got to get this out of the way. It keeps on popping up. I keep forgetting it. Y'all don't want to keep seeing my face smiling. But listen, all praises be to the Most High. We're going to get started with tonight's broadcast. Y'all see it, right? And like y'all said, I'm coming in nice and clear, so I could keep going, right? So y'all see the title, Make America Great Again. And the pun is intended. It's definitely a play on words, because this term. Matter of fact, let me put it on the screen. Matter of fact, this term was actually coined by y'all boy Mr. Donald J. Trump during his first campaign. Let me make the screen bigger so you guys could see where I'm reading from. I'm reading from the Britannica, right? So some people always hear, oh, you're MAGA, you're pro-MAGA, okay? And MAGA actually stands for something. It literally stands for Make America Great Again. But what are the core, the values of being MAGA, or the term MAGA? Like I was saying, this phrase was coined by President Donald J. Trump, I believe starting in 2016 during his first go around as president, right? He was big on making America great again. So let's look at this. Let's look at the beliefs, the values, and character of the MAGA movement. And there's a reason why I want to talk about this tonight. And I'm going to show you the video that sparked my mind to talk about this. So the beliefs, values, and characters of the MAGA movement. It says the MAGA movement, often referred to simply as MAGA or Make America Great Again, was founded on the belief now, this is a belief, on the belief that the United States was once a great country, but has lost this status owing to foreign influence. And I want you guys to remember this part right here. Owing to foreign influence. Right? The foreign influence on this country, both within its borders via immigration and multiculturalism, and without globalization, right? Or the increase of integration of multiple national economies. MAGA members think that this fall from grace can be reversed through America First. So they want to do an America First initiative. That's what they want. America First. America First policies that would provide a greater degree of economic protectionism. I didn't even heard that word before. Protectionism. greatly reduce immigration, particularly from developing countries, and encourage or enforce what MAGA members consider to be traditional American values. Sounds great, right? Sounds awesome. I mean, If you would have told me, you would have sold me on being MAGA. I don't see anything wrong with being MAGA. Do you guys? But this is what the people under MAGA, this is what they believe, right? Bring back American values, whatever those values are. Putting America first with its policies and trying to stop foreign invasions through immigration. But what it said here, it says MAGA members think there was something that I wanted to right here, where it says, let me just put it on the screen. It says right here, it was founded, I'm reading from here, was founded on the belief that the United States was once a great country, but has lost its status owing to foreign influence. So because of foreign influence, America has lost that status of being great. And it's crazy and it's funny because there is, we have the president of the United States who is the leader of MAGA, who created the term "Make America Great Again." But America has lost that status, like they just said, because of foreign influence. And I'm gonna show y'all what that foreign influence is, guys. And I don't know, for me, every time I look into it, it bothers me. It does bother me, but I just look up into the heavens and I smile because this is what the Most High said would happen to us. He said he would provoke us to jealousy with another nation. He said he would do that. And every time it's in our face, it's like the Most High is doing good on that promise. I'll just leave it here. Right? It's like the Most High doing good on that promise. And I'm gonna look at it from a lot of angles, but there's but one particular angle I'm looking at this particular topic is through the vantage point of the so-called children of not so-called, but the so-called black and brown people of the country, so-called African Americans, right? The children of slaves. I'm looking at it from that vantage point because that's the only vantage point I could really look at it at, because in actuality or in reality, they're not considering us when they talk about Make America Great. Every time they talk about Make America Great, they never talk about what makes America great or what made America great. America didn't just become great overnight. It didn't just become great by itself. America didn't just become great with just the minds and ingenuity of Caucasian people. Or all of the other nations that migrated over. It's a contribution. Yeah, they contributed to how this place is being ran. But what was the core? How did America build all of this great wealth? How? Did America just become rich out of nowhere? And we got to talk about that. But it's like every time we talk about it, we get the response, oh, this happened years ago. And I'm going to show you another video that I almost flipped my computer screen almost. But I'm going to play that video a little later too. But every time we talk about slavery, we talk about what happened to our people here on this soil in the over in the islands where a lot of our brothers and sisters were scattered. And throughout the four corners of the earth, every time we talk about the plight of the black man and woman, it's like, oh, get over it. But yet they still make money off of our people. They make movies about our people. They make movies about our people and our plight, showing that we're in their minds we were just what's called human commodity. So MAGA, we gonna make America great, but we're not going to talk about who helped make America great. And honestly, there's no way they're going to be able to make America great again. Because what the Most High is doing on this earth, the Most High is pouring his spirit out. Now the children of slaves is starting to wake up and understand their worth and their value, which is us. Last week, Saturday, they celebrated what? America's 250th birthday. Look, they're so proud. Look at them. Red, white, and blue. Huh? Look at them. Celebrating 250 years. 250 years ago, a lot of our foremothers and forefathers were still slaves. Slavery didn't so-called get abolished until what? 1865, if I'm correct. You guys know better than me. You guys could put the correct year. I know it was 1860 something. But when they were celebrating their independence in 1774, we still was in shackles and chains on this side of the earth. We were. So what are we celebrating? Thank you. 1864. Yeah, I was off by 1 year. Somebody said 64, somebody said 68. 1860 something. That's how we going to say. That's what we're going to say. I got 2 years here. 1860 something, we still was slaves until we were quote unquote free. But there was something that happened, and I'm going to play that video too, where although slavery was abolished in 1860 something, while we made our slave owners rich, hand over fist, I mean, they became billionaires, you know, they had enough money and enough wealth to pass it down through generations. And that money is still being passed down through generations. While we made them rich, we had to start from scratch, start from nothing. We had to start from nothing. That wasn't fair. That wasn't equity, right? But let alone, here it is. We celebrating, America is celebrating its 250th year of independence. And now when you think about the word independence, right? I want to do this too. I'm about to just look it up too. But when you think about independence, the Most High never intended for the children of Israel to be independent. There's no such thing as being independent when it comes to the Most High God. He said, choose me or you could go into slavery. That's not independence. But matter of fact, we did choose independence. And look at us now. Right? We independence was not made for us. Here on this soil and with the Most High. Independence was not made for us. See, look. I just wanted to pull up this scripture. This definition. Y'all know how I love definitions. Independent. Look at the first word. Not dependent. That's a great definition. Not dependent. Not subject to the control of others. So, and this is what our people have to understand when they partake in 4th of July celebrations. And I get it. You understand what I'm saying? I get it because, you know, our people, we just be looking for a good time. We could care less about the actual meaning of the holiday that they given us. But we just be wanting to have a good time, man. We just want to just kick back, drink a beer, eat a burger or something. Just have a good time. Just relax. All right, we got a day off from work. You see, so our people in ignorance, we flock to these days. We celebrate these days. We partake in them because we just want some rest. We just want some time off. But the meaning behind the day in itself is what it means. And this meaning don't fall for us. It don't apply to us. So let's read the meaning again. It says not dependent, not subject to the control of others, not subordinate, God is the only being who is perfectly independent. He don't need nobody. He don't need none of us. Christ said if it was up to him, he could make these very stones will cry out. Most High use anything, right? Not holding or enjoying possessions at the will of another. So how are we truly independent? How was it a day of independence for us? If y'all want to really make it a day of independence for the whole America, make it for that whole year or for that whole month. No one pays taxes. No one pays taxes on anything for that whole year, right? But they can't do that. What else it says? Not relying on others, not dependent. Okay, so here's your definition for the word independent. The children of Israel was never created to be independent. We was created for our God, to be dependent on our God. Hence why he gave us laws. He gave us rules to follow. He's like, okay, so if you guys depend on me to protect you, to feed you, to clothe you, look, I provided all of this land to you. Matter of fact, I even made y'all above all nations. Y'all like that? Yeah, you like it? Okay. You want to keep that status? Okay, so these are my rules. Keep these rules and, you can continue to depend on me for everything. Don't worry about nothing. But for some reason, some weird reason, our foremothers and forefathers, they wanted independence. They wanted independence. There was times we could even read in the Old Testament where they was like, yo, I can't wait for the Sabbath to be done. I can't wait till the sun go down so I could start selling and enjoying what I like doing, which was selling for goods. So this been a plague in our system for God knows how long, since our inception. But the Most High had he had it in his mind to do what we see is happening to us right now. This was in his mind the whole time. Like, all right, y'all want the independence. I'm going to show y'all what independence is. We're going to read that scripture too. One of my favorite scriptures. And I keep saying we're going to do it. Trust me, we're going to do it. I'm just setting the stage. So, we celebrate 250 years, right? But like I said, last I checked, we still wasn't even emancipated. We was still in the fields. But they, like I said, they keep talking about make America great again. But what made America great? What made America great, brothers and sisters? And this is the video that actually got me to think about this topic and to talk about it. Because it's like, this country will never really, really appreciate and really recognize us as equal. Not that I know about me, I don't know about for y'all, but for me, I don't care about being equal to anybody. I don't care about being equal with the white man. I don't care about being equal with the Chinese man. I don't care about being equal with the Arab man. I don't care. Leave me and my people alone and let us thrive. But is that possible? Is that possible? Can they actually do that? But in order for them to just leave us alone, they would have to, what's called in an insurance term, to indemnify the victims for their loss. Indemnity. If you, even in the law, when you read the laws, civil laws in the Bible, if you do harm to somebody or somebody suffers loss or incurs a loss under your care, you by law that's written in scripture is supposed to repay or indemnify the person that you have made occur a loss. That's law. Matter of fact, that's universal law. This is the reason why we have car insurance today, right? For God forbid you get into an accident, your insurance will pay for the damages of somebody's person or property. That's a universal law. Millions of people were bought and forced against their will to another land where never no mankind dwelt. Right? We were brought into another land against our will to work for free. Even in the Old Testament, when we had servants, we didn't make them work for free. Even if the person would sell themselves to us, and after 7 years, we would have to either release them if they want to be released, or if the servant felt like, yo, you know what? My master is good and he pays me, he feeds me. You know what the law said? The law said you were supposed to bore a hole in that servant's ear and put an earring in their ear to let you know that this is my servant forever, because they weren't held against their will. They did their time, and after their time was up, you had to send them away with their goods and their wealth so they could go and live their life. But if they felt good living with you, then they would be your servant forever. Then you bore their ears and they had earrings and they became your servant forever. And it wasn't by force. How many of y'all knew that was in the scripture? How many of you guys knew that was part of our law? And they be talking about in God we trust. What God? Because if you trust in the God that we reading of in the Bible, that's what he said you're supposed to do. The year of release, every 7 years. You can't do that. But they went above and beyond. This is the reason why the book of Obadiah exists. When y'all get a chance, read the book of Obadiah. That's why that book exists. Water Yvonne for the super chat. Appreciate it. That's the reason why the books like Obadiah exists. So the Most High could explain the mindset of Esau. The Most High was like, yo, surely if robbers came into your house and robbed something, they would leave. You would come home like, all right, at least my socks are still here. Not Edom, not Esau. He coming in here and he taking everything. Okay? Edom is diabolical. He taking everything. Even he'll open up your cabinets. Even the roach gel that you got in the corner to kill the roaches. He's like, oh, I'm taking that too. You coming like, yo, you took the roach gel? I'm just being funny, but you know what I'm talking about. The Most High said in the book of Obadiah, they not leaving nothing. They wouldn't even leave the gleanings. They wouldn't even leave the gleanings. So automatically we understand and we know that we're dealing with an individual or a group of people that don't care. And that was written in Deuteronomy 28. A nation of fierce countenance who would not regard the old or the young. They do not care. So now when I see people try to sit down with them and be like, yeah, where's my 40 acres and a mule? You know who you're dealing with? You know who you're dealing with? He taking everything. He taking the roach traps, rat traps, everything. You're not leaving you nothing. But I seen this video, and this is what sparked this conversation. Right? Of course. Good day, America. Look at these people. All right. So the title of this particular video is called "The Enslaved People Who Built America." I'll show you right here. Here's the title: "The Enslaved People Who Built America." They did this video 5 days ago, right? And how convenient for them to talk about this during their 250th year birthday of independence, knowing dang well we were still in handcuffs. And we got Michael Strahan and this other black lady. I don't even know her now. I don't know their names. I don't even know him because he played football. He played for the New York Giants. So that's why I know him. But the other two, I don't know anything about them. But of course, Look at that smile on Michael Strahan's face. Look at him. He's just happy to talk about this. Like I said, the title is The Enslaved People Who Built America. And I'm like, yo, what could they be talking about now? And I'm using this for educational purposes only. This is not my video. I'm definitely just doing a commentary on it, right? So let's take a look at this. And I want you guys just to see how they value us.
People who literally and figuratively built this country. Right now, we can exclusively share a new report from ABC News in a first-of-its-kind collaboration with the 10 Million Names Project, an initiative dedicated.
The 10 Million Names Project. Listen to this, guys.
To finding the names of the roughly 10 million people who were enslaved in pre- and post-colonial America. We set out to find the living descendants of the enslaved people who built the White House. Over nearly 2 years, the talented team at
she's just so happy to talk about this. I'm sorry, I wouldn't be able to do this piece. Look at Michael Strahan. He look like he ready to flip a table right now. They said they looking to find the name of the 10 million people who were enslaved. My thing is like, my question is, what good is that gonna do? Okay, we find the names, then what? We just want to know the descendants. We want to know, yeah, if push comes to shove, yeah, these are the same people we could go back after and enslave them, because they're the same descendants of the same people we enslaved. Like, what good is knowing these people's names? This is why I be trying to figure out what's the point of talking about this.
American ancestors combed through hundreds of records across several states to make this happen, and it's
and you don't think the United States government don't know who is descendants of slaves? You don't think they know? You don't think they don't know? They don't know who we are? Like what? Like what type of news piece is this? To find the names of all of the slaves, that for what? To do what?
To reveal one family never expected. Every year, millions
hidden history of the White House. Let's hear this, guys.
of people from around the world visit our nation's capital. But there's a hidden history here, especially on Pennsylvania Avenue.
I wake up every morning in a house that was built by slaves.
I wake up every morning in a house that was built by slaves. Listen to this person. Yeah, I'm going to use the word person for this individual. If you know, you know. Listen to what this person is saying right here.
In a house that was built by slaves.
So why you wake up in it?
Mrs. Obama exposed a fact that's often overlooked, that enslaved people's unpaid labor helped build the White House.
What? You heard what they said? Enslaved people with unpaid labor help build the White House. So if we gonna make America great, how come we not talking about this? How come we not talking about the enslaved people who are unpaid? That's how America got great. Why are we not talking about that? Why like, if you want to make it great, you got to focus on the people who helped make it great, which was us, our forefathers. Like, what?
Her comment inspired an ambitious question that for America's 250th anniversary, we set out to answer.
How convenient. On America's 250th birthday, hold on, what is this on the screen? On America's 250th birthday, they set out to solve that mystery, like it's a mystery. Like they don't already know. And it's stuff like this that pisses me off with these people, man. Like, what?
Could we find the living descendants of the enslaved people who built the White House, an endeavor that's never been accomplished before?
Yes, you can. We still on this land.
The genealogists at American Ancestors in Boston.
She talking too much. Let me go a little further. So, I'm gonna move forward a little bit.
After confirming her family's genealogy,
I'm talking to the right person. That's really great news.
we asked her and her mother Jackie to come to Washington, D.C. so we could reveal our incredible discovery.
Hi, how you doing?
Hi, Ashley.
Lindsay and her fabulous team, they have uncovered some incredible information about one of your ancestors that is truly first of its kind. And so before we get to that, just hearing that, what's going through your mind?
I just said, oh, wow.
Right?
I think for me, it's just excitement, nervousness, you know, all the things. It's just like, how did I get here?
Lindsay, the table is yours.
So I'm going to just share with you, if we all can just pass these down. What we want to do is make connections between each individual. So you'll see Ashley, you're on the bottom here, and then Jackie, your grandfather, Ashley, and your father, Robert Smith. This generation, James Peter Smith and Beatrice Marie Hicks. This is your first great-grandparents. Your second great-grandparents are James Hicks and Fanny Rome. Your
not too far removed from slavery. See, like they be acting like slavery was like eons ago. We're literally like two, three generations away from slavery. We're not that far away from them. 2, 3, maybe 4 the most.
Our third great-grandparents are William Hicks and Sarah E. Ambush.
They were slaves.
They're from Washington, D.C. And then your fourth great-grandfather and grandmother are Calvert Ambush and Patsy Cried.
At the top, we see Calvert Ambush. Can you please tell us the significance of this gentleman in American history?
Your fourth great-grandfather, Calvert Ambush, was one of the enslaved men who built the White House. One of the
What? Say what?
most iconic landmarks in America.
Really? Oh, my goodness.
Yes.
I would have been like, oh yeah, that's great news. Where to check? Yeah. Where his pension at? We should be collecting that. Y'all didn't pay him.
Man.
Oh, my goodness.
You're great.
Look at him. Wow. Yeah. Look at him. Because this information don't mean anything. Like why share this? If you ain't gonna pay the sister, you ain't gonna pay her family. What good is this information? What I care about that for? To know that my grandfather is like, yeah, one of my great grandfathers like, yeah, he helped build the White House. Oh, that's amazing. All right, yeah. So what we going to eat? That's how quick the conversation is gonna switch. Like nobody cares. Like, what are you gonna do for this family now? Now that you know, like y'all didn't know already.
Great-great-great-grandfather helped build
The White House.
the White House.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. And a little teary-eyed.
Yeah, I mean, what?
Know that you have an ancestor that
goodness.
has such a significant role in our country's history.
Yes.
Is this a first for a genealogical organization to be able to link a living descendant to an enslaved individual like this who worked in the White House?
Yes, this is the first time we've been able to make the connection.
Yeah. That's the first time, right? All right. So as you guys could see, this is what sparked this conversation for tonight. They tracked this woman down to tell her to her face, yeah, you're a descendant of somebody who built the White House. I would have been looking around like, all right, y'all gonna like where's the confetti? That's all y'all brought me all the way to Washington D.C. to tell me this and to film my reaction. Like, Where the cake at? Where the Lamborghini and you know what I'm saying? Where's the big old check that says paid to the order of? Because that information is useless. So this is what they do to us. Want to constantly remind us, yeah, how you feel. Cause like notice how they asked her, how does that make you feel? She was like, I just said, wow. Like, how are we supposed to feel? Like, what do you want to know? Like, are you trying to track our sentiments to see how we feel towards this country? How it makes us feel to know that we actually built this country and not getting nothing for it? Still being treated like animals for the most part, right? So, we built this country, literally, and was not paid for it because according to that segment, they did a whole, and who knows how much money they spent. They'll spend the money to look for the names of the slaves rather than pay the slaves when they find them, the descendants of the slaves. Why not pay that, sister? Why not make sure that because her family is tied to someone who built the White House, why not ensure that for the rest of her life and her family's life, they'll have free room and board, or a free house somewhere that they never have to do pay taxes or something. Do something for the sister. You want me to just leave with a memory? Yeah, we put together this care basket for you, and here's a picture of your tattered and beaten great grandfather with his rags on, and we got another shot of the whips and the lashes on his back. We just wanted to show you, and we found a piece of cloth. We don't know if it's his, but we know that a slave used to wipe his sweat off with this cloth. We just want to give it to you. like what you want me to do with that? Like if they could do that to us to make a mockery, they would do that. And it's stuff like this that I just don't understand it. I don't understand how after all of these years here on this soil, or even in the Caribbean, wherever we came from, our people still hold on to like being, I want to use my words wisely. Our people hold on to being a part of the system in such a way as if we're like we like they recognize us for anything. I'm trying to choose my words wisely here. Because no matter, it doesn't matter what we do. It don't matter. They just look at us, yeah, round of applause. All right, go have a seat. And then do something else on the other end. And I'm gonna show you what that something else looks like. For instance, we just seen a video of a sister who they found her. She's a descendant of a slave who helped build the White House. And it's on record that he was not paid to do that. But it's the White House. Right? And before I do that, let's play this. I gotta play this one first. So, mind you, after we were so quote unquote freed from slavery, right? We were promised, what was the term? 40 acres and a mule. That's what they wanted to. That's what they said they was going to give us. 40 acres and a mule for what we've done for how we built this country. And you know what, I'm gonna actually do more research on that to see if that's what was really on the books, because all these years I never really thought to look into it, because that's what they just been telling us. Yeah, y'all was supposed to get 40 acres and a mule, right? So we were supposed to get that. And then I remember growing up hearing about what's called reparations. That's basically the indemnity for us being slaves or being descendants of slaves, right? Being paid for that, because America and these slave owners became rich off of the backs of slaves, off of free labor, right? So now, here's this next video. Now we're gonna talk about reparations, because like I said, you telling me that my one of my forefathers was responsible for building a house that I can't live in. I can't even step foot in it if I tried, right? You're not gonna give me a room in the White House. Like, I don't have no stake. I don't have no equity in that house. My name is not on the deed. So you telling me that one of my ancestors is responsible for building it? Whoop-de-dee-doo. Whoop-de-dee-doo. What does that do? Okay, what does it do for me now? I still got bills up to here. Y'all gonna help me pay that? Y'all like what y'all doing for me? I'm like one paycheck from being homeless. What y'all got for me? How y'all gonna help me? Here's this next piece that we're gonna go into. It's titled "Should," and listen to the conversation that they're having on national TV. The title of this segment is "Should the U.S. Pay Reparations to Black Citizens for Slavery?" This is a conversation. It's a conversation that they're having. Should we be paid? Should black citizens be paid for slavery? This is the conversation that they be having about us. So now I want you guys to see the two people that they have on the panel, and I can see right through this thing. This is just it's a joke. It's a mockery. Look at this. Let me show. And like I said, I'm playing this. It's fair use. I'm just playing it for information and educational purposes, to just to educate the viewers and as well as myself as what's going on out here. So take a look at this conversation and the two that they have on the panel.
I dive in deeper. As we saw earlier, reparations is a hugely divisive issue. A Pew Research poll taken in late 2021 found that by a more than 2-to-1 margin, Americans oppose reparations for African Americans.
So look at this. This says Americans oppose reparations for African Americans. You would think through the history that's being taught about so-called African Americans that other Americans would have some type of sympathy and be like, you know what? Those people been through a lot. Look at the sentiments. It says all adults. 30% of Americans is for it. 68% are against us getting reparations. I wonder who makes up that 68%.
And look at the racial split. White.
And of course, they got to put it on the screen for us. Look at the racial split. 80% of whites say we should get it, and 80% of whites says no, don't give them nothing. 77% of blacks is like, yeah, we should get it. And 17% of blacks are like, nah, don't give us nothing.
Overwhelmingly oppose reparations, 80%.
Overwhelmingly.
But the numbers are almost exactly reversed among African Americans who strongly support the idea.
Of
so
course,
joining me.
Duh, like why would we not support reparations? Like what? Hello?
Now is Cornell William Brooks. He's a professor of the practice of public leadership and social justice at the Harvard Kennedy School. He's also a former president and CEO of the NAACP. And Coleman Hughes is a columnist and host of the Society and Culture podcast, Conversations with Coleman. Both of you have agreed to essentially lightly debate this issue with me as playing my...
To lightly debate. Look at the panelists. You would have thought, I got to point this out. You would have thought they would have had a black person and a white person, right? Bring on somebody who believes that we shouldn't, a Caucasian, because the poll was against white and black. Okay, so bring on a white person who believes we shouldn't get reparations, and have a black person who believes that we should get, and have them lightly debate. But they putting us against each other now. See what they did? You see what they did, right? They got one black person, one black man saying we should get it, and they got another black person who's kind of who's on the fence and is against it. The divide and conquer mentality. That's how Esau do it. And look, you got Esau there. I'm innocent now. I'm just the moderator. But let me watch these two slaves go at it. Fight.
My role of moderator here. So, Cornell Brooks, let me start with you. You've been studying this for quite some time, and you've been working with some religious leaders to come up, I think it's fair to say,
and he had some great points, valid points. Listen to what he got to say.
Modern blueprint of what you think. What would reparations look like in the 21st century? Make the case.
That's right. So I've had the pleasure and honor of working with both the National Council of Churches and the Union of Reform Judaism, and a group of Harvard Kennedy School students who are working with these large religious associations all across the country, representing over 40 million people, to create a moral discourse on reparations. Why? Because we know that in many corners of our republic, it's being politically weaponized. And they're endeavoring to make, I'd say, three key points here. The first of which is, with respect to reparations, you often hear that the harm was too long ago, it's too expensive, and too impossible, too difficult to do.
You see, he said that this is what they talk about when the topic of reparation comes about for us. That it happened too long ago. This is what they be saying. It's too difficult, and it would cost too much to pay us. And I'm going to show y'all that all of that is a lie. If they wanted to, listen, if they wanted to give us reparations, they would have done it a long time ago, brothers and sisters. So I don't even know why this is even a conversation. They will never, mark my words, they will never give us reparations. It's not going to happen. I don't care how much times we march. I don't care how much petitions we sign. I don't care how much we vote. Ain't never going to happen. You ain't never going to get no 40 acres in the mill. You ain't getting nothing from these people. You heard it from me. Anything that you're going to get, you got to get it yourself. I'm telling you that right now. And the reason why I'm saying that is because Christ told us that. Christ said that. Christ said, you steady looking for the kingdom. The kingdom's in you. What are you doing? You got to go get it. Make friends with them. Learn the ways. Understand the game that they play, and utilize it for yourself and maximize it and get it yourself. Don't be waiting for no handout. Don't be waiting for nobody to come and give you nothing, because they're not giving you nothing. You got to get it yourself. You got to go out and get it. That's the only way we gonna build something substantial enough outside of them. Because now, if we do it without their help, now that could help our other brothers and sisters see that, it is possible. Instead of waiting around for a check, waiting for a handout. The way Esau created this system is not impossible for you to get ahead. You got to choose to do that. You got to put your brain to it. You got to put your mind into it. And you can't be afraid of what's called debt. You can't be afraid of that. But that's another conversation for another day. But like I said, these people are not giving you nothing. Because if trust me, they talk about something is too expensive. I'm gonna show you what's too expensive. I'm gonna show you. Trust me. And this is gonna show y'all they do not care. This is why you have to go and get it yourself. You gotta do it. You gotta bring forth the kingdom. Through your belief, through your faith in the Most High, and the faith in your own work, you gotta go do it. Forget about their 40 acres and a mule. It's not impossible to buy 40 acres. You could buy it. You don't need them for it. And you could use their money to get it.
What we find is the harm was not long ago, right? So in other words, yes, slavery ended in 1863 and 1865, but the convict leasing system, representing 1 million people enslaved, lasted up until the opening days of World War II, right?
Wow, look at that.
And all of these systems of oppression.
So even though we was freed in so-called, quote-unquote, freed in 1865, we still was treated as convicts up until World War II, he said. So how are we supposed to win that race? After we done built their country, now we gotta struggle and build our own country, but we sitting around waiting for them for a handout. Where my 40 acres? Because they're not gonna give it to you.
Continue into the present, point one. Point two, with respect to reparations being too difficult. I want to know something here, Chuck, that's critically important. My colleague, Linda Bilmes, who's a public economist at the Harvard Kennedy School, we've done a study, and we looked at all of these programs across the federal government, and we make the case that we're already doing reparations. We simply don't call it that. So in other words, there's a norm in government which essentially says, if an American has been harmed through no fault of their own, the government will often step in to try to make them whole. We do this not only with respect to Japanese Americans who were interned after World War II, but we also do it with respect to veterans.
And what he's saying is true. I'm going to show you that as well, too. It's called, I'm going to show you on the screen, the U.S. foreign aid. That's a such thing.
With respect to people who suffered in a natural disaster. We do it with respect to children who've been harmed by vaccines. We do it with respect to pensions that are insured. So we do this over and over again, which says that we can do it. And lastly, we do it at the level of millions, billions, even trillions of dollars. So we can't afford to do it.
All right, let me, Coleman Hughes, let me bring.
So it's a bold-faced lie to say that it would cost too much to indemnify African American citizens when they do it all the time, but under other terms. Okay? For other Americans.
Bring you in here. You testified before Congress in 2019 against the idea of reparations. You said,
and look at his brother. Young Ock, man. I don't even think that he even cares about his ancestry to a certain extent. So he's kind of opposed to us getting anything.
Paying reparations to descendants of slavery would, quote, only divide the country further. And you thought it would
divide the country further. I'm sorry if I keep pausing it, but that's the way he think, that if we give blacks reparations, it would further divide the country. How? The country was already divided. We had the South try to secede from the North because they didn't want to free the slaves. So we was already divided. So what are you talking about? There's still Confederates in the South, still divided. So what are you even talking about? Come on, man, we gotta make this stuff make sense.
Insult black Americans by putting a price on the suffering as well, and would make black Americans like yourself victims without their consent. I hope I captured that correctly, but you take it further. Make your case again.
I'm trying to clean it up now.
So let me just make a distinction off the bat. I support reparations for redlining, right? Because there are many victims of redlining that are still with us. They're still alive. And Cornell, all the examples of successful reparations for other groups that you highlighted were examples of reparations given to directly the victims of these human rights abuses in their lifetimes or their immediate family members. That's why I support reparations for redlining paid directly to the victims, as they're doing in Evanston outside of Chicago.
So we're not victims? I'm just saying. If that's what your stand is, we're not victims? We're not victims of being taken from a land that we didn't ask to be taken to? We're victims.
I make a distinction between that and reparations for slavery, which ended in 1865. I know of no examples where groups are getting reparations for historical crimes that are over 150 years old.
So he's standing on the stance that it happened so long ago, so it shouldn't count. This is how you know a lot of people is far removed from understanding who they are, and really understanding that the blood that goes, that's in your veins, were in their veins as well too. They had to live so you could be here. So how can you not care about them? Somebody had to be produced for you to be here. What? It don't matter if it was 1,000 years ago. That person had to be alive so that way you could be on this show right here to talk about that. His ancestors probably turning into graves right now. Like, I can't believe this is what my bloodline produced.
And unfortunately, the opportunity was tragically missed to pay it to the slaves themselves or their immediate families. But claims like this, time.
And then the question is, why was the opportunity missed? Who missed it? The slaves, they missed it? Who missed the opportunity to do it? The same system that promised it. So it's not the slaves, it's the system. That's what they're not addressing. So how you gonna make America great when they're not addressing the problem, addressing the system, addressing the people that help make America great? So this is the reason why America will never be great again. It's prophecy anyway. So it's prophesied.
Out, right? And this is timed out. And let me say one more thing. Martin Luther King had a plan for addressing the legacy of slavery, which he laid out in his book, Why We Can't Wait. And he called it the Bill of Rights for the Disadvantaged. The Bill of Rights for the Disadvantaged was not a race-based policy. It was a class-based anti-poverty program that would benefit the black poor and the white poor and the poor of all races.
And that was Martin Luther King's whole premise. The whole scheme about integration. So Martin Luther King was trying to put a bill on the books for disadvantaged Americans, which I'm not opposed to that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not opposed to people, to helping the disadvantaged, whether you're white, black, Chinese, Asian. I'm not opposed to that. But what I am opposed to is overlooking and undermining that there is a group of people in this country that is far more disadvantaged than the average American. That's something that has to be highlighted. That's something that has to be addressed. But they never want to address that. They never want to talk about it. Like it's like the boogeyman to these people. Like how can we, in good earnest, not say like there was a group of people who was largely disenfranchised in this country? Why is that such a crime to say? Why is that such a cross to vampires to these people?
That's what I support in terms of addressing the legacy of slavery. That's what I feel is the wisest path forward for this country.
That's what he feels, and look how he mated slavery with with every disadvantaged American. That's exactly what the Democratic movement actually did. Excuse me. That's exactly, where was I? That's exactly what the Democratic movement did. Made it the people with the alternative lifestyles, all of the degenerates and the immoral, they made it their their circumstances or their fight with the fights of African Americans and civil rights. Now their rights is much more greater than the descendants of the people who fought for civil rights. Being a homosexual has nothing to do with civil rights. That's your choice. No one is stopping you from being a homosexual. That's the conversation right there. No one is stopping you from being a homosexual. But somebody is stopping me from being free. So that's the difference right there. So our fight is not the same. We like what? So this young brother right here is standing with using reparations to help all disenfranchised Americans. But what about the Americans that were slaves? Let's talk about them. Let's highlight them, because their plight is completely different from whatever you're talking about right now. I get it. People go through hard times. You know what I'm saying? Like, inflation. Everybody is struggling. But how did we make it past some of these white Americans? How are we doing better than them? How are we caught up? That what? So that's the real topic right there. Not if we shouldn't get it, how come we didn't get it? So look, that was, I just wanted to play a little piece of that to show y'all what they do. Look, look, and they probably in the background looking at us like, yo, look, y'all want reparations, but look, y'all can't even agree with each other. We got two black guys here, y'all can't even agree. And y'all want us to give y'all something? It's foolish. So their talking points was what? It'll cost too much, right? It'll cost too much to give everybody, every so-called African American, right, a piece of the pie. Oh, really? Oh, really? Let's look at this. Let us look at this. It costs too much, right? Look at this, U.S. foreign aid. So this is a chart right here for the U.S. foreign aid, right here. The total foreign aid outlays by the U.S. Treasury. So since World War II, add up to what? $78.5 billion. So that was through World War II and 1960. So I'm just gonna show you from that part. We're gonna go further, right? Let me make the screen a little bigger. And brothers and sisters, as you come in, please hit that like button. We need more people in this conversation to understand what's going on here, right? Look at this. So this is a breakdown. So look at this. The 15-year breakdown by types of aid. So this is a tally between World War II and up until 1960. So one of their complaints was what? It's too much, it's too expensive. We don't have the money. Oh yeah, y'all don't? But look at this. Look at this. Economic assistance between World War II and 1960 was $47.9 billion. Right? Economic assistance. So let's see where that went to. Military assistance, $25.8 billion. Right? So the total was $78 billion. But look at this. U.S. foreign aid between 1945 to 1960. France, during that time period, they got 9 million. United Kingdom, they got 7 million. Italy got 4 million. Germany, 4 million. Formosa, I don't even know where that is, but they got 4 million. Right? Who else? Korea. See? Japan, Greece, Netherlands, Yugoslavia. I don't even know what y'all doing here, but y'all got it. Belgium, Vietnam, India, Philippines. Look at these countries that got bread from the United States. Their good friend Israel, look. Indonesia. Okay? Look at that. These are the countries that were getting aid. And look, they had the nerve to put Haiti up there. And let's trust me, Haiti did get funding from the United States. But where did the money go? And they will purposely put somebody, they will purposely put somebody in Haiti, right? They'll put somebody there as a front piece, but it is really an inside guy because they're just gonna use him as the face and funnel the money out of the country. Because look at the state of look at how horrible and the conditions the country of Haiti is. A beautiful country sitting on mounds of gold, and they don't even have a proper street, road system, running water and all of that stuff. They don't got none of that stuff. But Haiti was receiving aid from the U.S. So from 1945 to 1960, Haiti got 60 million. What happened? Where's that money? And I'm pretty sure the money has been going, like they've been getting more money. But what are these people doing with the money for the people that's in Haiti? The nerve of them putting Haiti up there, Ireland, Cuba. See, so during World War II, up until 1960, they gave out a total of $78 billion. And the citizens of the United States who were descendants of slaves can't get anything, right? Can't get no reparations. All right. You said y'all ain't got the money, right? Okay. Fine. Look at this now. Y'all ain't got the money, right? Okay. I hear you. Heard you. Right? Look at this. 5 countries have received over 30% of all U.S. foreign aid since World War II. So this is U.S. foreign aid by top 5 recipient countries adjusted for inflation between 1946 and 2024. 2 years ago. This was the numbers. Look who's leading the race between 1946 and 2024. Israel. Between 1946 and 2024, Israel received from the United States foreign aid $337 billion. I'm telling you, these people wouldn't even spit on us if we was on fire. Telling me, y'all have the nerve to sit up here and tell us that y'all ain't got nothing to give us. But y'all gave $337 billion to Israel. But the best thing that y'all could do for us, right? The best thing y'all could do for us is find the names of the people who was responsible for building the White House. Let's find them. And let's just let them know that they have some rich history in this country. While you giving people outside of the country $337 billion. Egypt, between 1946 and 2024, received $198 billion. Vietnam, $993 billion. Afghanistan. Then wasn't there a war? Remember during President what's his name? George Bush Jr., the war in Afghanistan? Yeah, there was definitely a war, right? But between 1946 and 2024, y'all gave them $168 billion. We got to make this make sense. And you see, we never used to care about stuff like this. We weren't awake. But look, the numbers is here. South Korea, between 1946 and 2024, received $127 billion. But you want to tell us that y'all don't got nothing to give us, right? That's because, brothers and sisters, they was never going to give it to us in the first place. Yeah, it's too much. It's gonna cost too much to pay every single black American in here, right? Look at this. Foreign aid, let me make it bigger. Foreign aid by country. And this is 2026. Look at this. Why is this ad here? Get out of here. Foreign aid by country. This is the six countries with the largest aid obligations. And this is 2026. Ukraine. In 2026, they received 4.8 billion from the United States. In 2026, they received $4.8 billion. Jordan in 2026 received 1.1 billion. Palestine, 548 million. Ethiopia, 462 million. Micronesia, hopefully I said that right, 360 million. Sudan, 294 million. But they telling us, yeah, it's gonna cost too much to indemnify the descendants of slaves here in this country. This is what they think about y'all. This is what they think about us. They don't, and the thing is, they don't have to tell us that they don't think nothing of us. They show, the numbers speak. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. Huh? Look at this. They said that they don't got the money. I want y'all to see this. They don't got the money to indemnify the children of slaves. Yeah, and they talk about make America great again. Look at this. Republicans advance largest Pentagon budget in history. Yo, look at it. They making history and still ain't paying us. Yo, these people is diabolical. Like I said, there's a reason why Obadiah, that chapter is in the Bible, man. There's a reason why that book is there. Look at this. While they got us arguing about if we're gonna get reparations or not, they making history when it comes to money. It says Republicans advance largest Pentagon budget in history while cutting billions from domestic investments. Domestic investments means investing in home, investing in us. They cut billions, but they still managed to have a crazy budget for themselves. Look at this. And this was, look at this, June 24th, 2026. Press release. Y'all see this? Y'all see this right here? Let's attempt to pronounce to say the number here. It says the 1,072,210,299,000 military budget is the most expensive ever. Look how long it took me to sound out the number. That's how, and y'all talk about y'all can't give me nothing. Look how long it took me to read the number that y'all got for the budget. And y'all talking about y'all can't give us nothing? Y'all got numbers that long that I can't get nothing. It says it's the most expensive ever, while the Trump administration requests even more funding. They in the trillions with their budget. But nah, we can't give any African American nothing. We don't. It's It's not in the budget. We didn't allocate for y'all. And this is what I'm talking about here. So any conversation about reparations, okay, any conversations about reparations, man, is basically like you trying to catch your shadow. That's the way the conversation is. It's like catching a shadow. You will never catch your shadow. So that means you ain't never getting no reparations. Don't even factor that into your retirement. This is what it is. And y'all talk, and they want to talk about Make America Great. And they want to talk about Make America Great, right? Hold on. Brothers and sisters, thank you guys for coming in. Continue to hit that like button on your way in. I appreciate you all. Let me pull this up. And I know there's some people out there who genuinely do not know why we'll never get the reparations. Right? There's some people who basically don't know. But we know. I know. I'm going to show you why. All this, we have to understand, like I said in the beginning, when I was reading the definition of what's independent, the children of Israel was not created to be independent. And when I say to be independent, meaning to be independent outside of their God. So this is the reason why we're seeing what we're seeing right now when it comes to how the other nations deal with us, how they treat us. You don't think they know? Like in the beginning of the broadcast, we was watching the video of them they found 10 million names of slaves, and they were trying to track down the descendants of these 10 million people, right? You don't think that they know who the children of slaves are? They know. They just don't care. Like, they don't care. Because they know what we were brought here for. To build this country for free. They know that because we've been disobedient to our God, they could do what they want to us. But does that make it right? No, it doesn't make it right. Like I said earlier, according to the law, they were supposed to release us after 7 years. And then let us make the decision, all right, if we want to stay, if we had a good master, all right, I'm going to stay under this master. But they didn't do that. They didn't offer us that. Right? We were animals to them. They used to brand us like animals. So why would they indemnify animals? Why do you need a repayment? You're an animal. You're a slave. And from these numbers that we just read off from the screen, what they're sending to other countries is clearly showing us how they feel about us. And this is why I say we cannot wait for them for any handouts when it comes to how we build. We must use their economics. We must use their system to build ourselves. No handouts. Faith in our God, faith in our nation, and faith in ourselves. And build. It's the only way we're gonna make it happen. And it's not like it's impossible. It's not impossible. We be looking at the bigger picture. Right? We want them to give us the bigger picture. Nah, you can't. It's not gonna happen, because if they could, they would have done it already, guys. They would have done it already, but they don't. Look at this. Let me read. Let me show y'all this scripture. Matter of fact, let me read this. Here. And this this particular chapter, this is one of my favorite chapters in scripture. Well, it's one of the favorites. Ezekiel's the 16th chapter, right, where it speaks about how the Most High found us and how He nurtured us, right? He cleaned us up, right? Look, let me see. Let me read this. Right, look. He said, Ezekiel 16:5 is how the Most High found us and pitied us, right? None I'd pity thee to do any of these unto thee, to have compassion upon thee. But thou wast cast out in the open field to the loathing of thy person in the day that thou was born, right? And when I passed by thee, I saw thee polluted. This is what the Most High is saying. And it's very touching. When you really read this, like, it's like, dang, this is what the Most High did for us. He said, when I passed by thee, I saw thee polluted in thine own blood. And I said unto thee, when thou wast in thy blood, live. Yea, I said unto thee, when thou wast in thy blood, live. So He gave us life, right? But look, check this out, though. I'm going to go down to verse 30. I think verse 30. Let's start at verse 30. So listen to this. This is Ezekiel chapter 16, verse 30. And it reads, how weak is thine heart? And this is the Most High now speaking from the stance now, after I done saved you, after I done cleaned you up and gave you everything when nobody else wanted y'all, when nobody wanted you, when nobody wanted to take care of you, nobody considered you, I did. Now he's trying to figure us out. Like, he's like, yo, I gave y'all everything when y'all still. And He's comparing us to a wife. It's like you have a wife and you like, you know what? I'm gonna take care of my wife. I'm gonna make sure she got everything. You pay for everything. You get her hair done, you get her nails done, you get her toes done, you can do everything. She don't gotta lift a finger. You gave her a maid, and then she still go out there and cheat on you. Now, brothers, how would that make you feel? Here it is, you got this woman, you spending everything on her to make sure she's good. Right? She don't got to lift a finger in the house, and then she still go out there and checking out other men, dealing with other men, and then coming back to you. What? Look, how weak is thine heart, saith the Most High Ahia, seeing that thou doest all these things the work of an impious, whorish woman. This is how the Most High looking at, like, yo, like, look how weak your heart is. Are you good? I did all this for you, but you still moving like this. You still doing this, right? Verse 31. In that thou buildest thine eminent places in the head of every way, and makest thy high place in every street, and hast not been as an harlot, in that thou scornest higher. Like, yo, you're not even asking for money after you go and do what you're doing. At least they would sell it. You're not even selling it. You just get, hey, just take it. Right? Look, but as a wife that committeth adultery, which taketh strangers instead of her husband. This is what the Most High is looking at us. Like, we're like a wife. Instead of her dealing with her husband, we going out there and dealing with other men. Symbolically. This is how the Most High views us. After He done cleaned us up, gave you everything, put you up in a nice house, right? You ain't got to work no more, you ain't got nothing, and you still. So this is how the Most High looking at us. Look, it says, they give gifts to all whores, but thou givest thy gift to all thy lovers, and hirest them, that they may come unto thee on every side of thy whoredom. Look, and the contrary is in thee from other women in thy whoredoms, whereas none followeth thee to commit whoredom. So the other harlots is looking at us like, yo, I wouldn't even do that. This is what you're doing? This is what he's saying. Even though they all in whoredom, they all harlots, but they looking at us like, yo, I wouldn't even do that. And this is what y'all doing? See? He says, and in that thou givest a reward, and no reward is given unto thee. Therefore thou art contrary. You're a hypocrite. Wherefore, O harlot, hear the word of the Lord. Thus saith the Most High Ahiah, because thy filthiness was poured out, and thy nakedness discovered, through thy whoredoms with thy lovers, and with all the idols of thy abominations, and by the blood of thy children, which thou didst give unto them. So this is the reason why the Most High was upset with us. He was upset of the children of Israel because we were supposed to be dependent on him. We left the dependency of the Most High to go and be under other gods. And what those other gods did, they used us. Yeah, give us your children. Yeah, sacrifice your children to my God. Yep. Yep. The sacrifices and worships that you was doing to your God, no, I need it. But matter of fact, you ain't going to get nothing in return, but listen, just do it. And we was doing it because we wanted to be like the other people. We wanted to be dependent. We wanted independence. So that's what it was. See? He said, behold, therefore, I will gather all thy lovers with whom thou hast taken pleasure, and all them that thou hast loved, with all them that thou hast hated. I will even gather them round about against thee, and will discover thy nakedness unto them, that they may see all thy nakedness. So this is prophecy. This is the reason why they could care less. A harlot is meant to be used. You don't care about a harlot. You just, yeah. You're going to do what I say anyways, and I'm not going to pay you. And you see, this is exactly what the Most High said. Like what? You giving the rewards, but they're not giving you nothing. So you know what? The people that you love, them, your lovers, all right. I'm gonna expose you in front of them so they can know what they got in their hands, and they're just gonna use you. And this is what we're seeing right now. This is what we're experiencing now. Okay, as a people, right? But the thing is, what I'm gonna say too is, you don't have to stay under that mindset, looking for a handout, looking at what they doing, look at that, look at this. I'm gonna quote it again, like Christ said, "You steady looking for the kingdom when the kingdom is within you. You gotta bring it forth. Can't wait for Edom and them to do it, because they're not gonna give you nothing, right?" Verse 38, "And I will judge thee as a woman that break wedlock, and shed blood and judge." Right? "And I will give thee blood in fury and jealousy." So jealousy would also come about when it with how he's judging us. We would end up being jealous because how they have everything and we can't get nothing. Yeah. Revert to, think back to where you came from. That's the reason why you ain't getting nothing. I'm provoking you to jealousy because that used to be you. Right? He said, "And I will also give thee into their hand." So reparations, forget about it. Because what the Most High said, he said, "And I will also give thee into their hands. And they shall throw down thy eminent place, and shall break down thy high places. They shall strip thee also of thy clothes, and shall take thy fair jewels, and leave thee," what? "Naked and bear. Doth saith the Most High. So reparations, that forget about it. We have become a tool to all of the nations. So this is the reason why they could say things publicly, openly, and have conversations. Should blacks get reparations? They could talk about that openly because and it won't be offensive, because why? We're nothing but a tool to these people. We're to be used. The Most High said this would happen. That's what the Most High said. We're a tool. Look at this. Look what the Most High says. Jeremiah 30 and verse 13. There is none to plead thy cause. So it don't matter how much conversations people have about should we receive anything. According to the scripture, there is none to plead thy cause, that thou mayest be bound up, that has no healing medications or medicines. Look at this. All thy lovers have forgotten thee. They seek thee not, for I have wounded thee with the wound of an enemy, with the chastisement of a cruel one, for the multitude of thine iniquity, because thy sins were increased. So it's our fault, nonetheless. It's our fault. And what he said, why criest thou for thy afflictions? Why are you crying for? This is what he said. This is what you're asking. Thy sorrow is incurable, for the multitude of thine iniquity, because thy sins were increased. I have done these things unto thee. Verse 16. Therefore all they that devour thee shall be devoured. So this is what's going to happen eventually, because it's what goes around comes around. And that's another thing that Esau and them, they forgot. What they like to call karma, we call it you reap what you sow. So you can't undermine God's people and don't think that something's going to happen to you on the end. Like what? On the back end. You're not going to be able to walk away scot-free for what you did to us. So, I mean, you telling us, y'all don't got the money? Fine. Keep the money. Most High going to deal with you still. What he said, therefore all they that devour thee shall be devoured. And all thine adversaries, every one of them shall go into captivity, and they that spoil thee shall be a spoil. And all that prey upon thee will I give for a prey. So, of course, seeing these conversations happen and how they treating our people, of course, it's frustrating, it's upsetting. But at the end of the day, the Most High is going to make everything right. He's going to truly indemnify us. He's going to repay us, not them. And this is basically the Most High getting us to understand, we need to be dependent on the Most High. We tried to walk away from it. We tried to be independent, and where did it get us? Where did it get us? All it got us to be recognized, like, yeah, you were one of the slaves that built the White House. Okay, good job. That's what it got us. So the Most High is doing all this for us to be like, you know what? Let me serve the right and living and true God. Let me serve my God. Let me try Him. Okay, because look at how the world is treating us. And brothers and sisters, understand that was done purposely. I'm gonna show you why. Look, let's go to the book of Romans. Look, I'm gonna read this scripture real quick as well too. Might as well since I'm here. Romans 11. Right, look at this. Look at this. Romans 11. Romans 11 and 11. And it reads, I say then, have they stumbled that they should fall? Meaning, have the children of Israel fell or stumbled to the point where they can't get up anymore? That we could never rise up again? That's not the case. Yeah, it looked like we're on the bottom right now. Yeah, okay, fine. But is that the end of it? Like, did we stumble to the point where it's like no more, we can't no longer get up? No. He said what? God forbid. But rather, through their fall, salvation has come unto the Gentiles to provoke them to jealousy. So this is the reason why the ministry, or not the ministry, or the gospel was also spread to the Gentiles. But because of our fall, the nations actually gained the world and the possession of it. Look. Verse 12. Now, if the fall of them, see? Now, if the fall of them, who's the them? The children of Israel. If the fall of us be the riches of the world, see? Because we fell, the world got the riches. And the diminishing of them, the riches of the who? The Gentiles. How much more their fullness? That's the question Paul is asking. How much more you think is going to be their fullness when they get back into power, when they repent and turn back to their God? If y'all got all of that because I fell, but what happens when I come back to the Most High? What happens if I come back? If you got all of that because I fell, what do you think I'm going to receive when I come back? That's what Paul is saying here. See? So yeah, let them spend their trillions on war and defense. Let them. That's their portion in this life. Okay? How much more is going to be our fullness if we come back? Right? What he says. He said, I speak unto you, Gentiles, insomuch as I am the apostle of the Gentiles. I magnify my office. He had to make sure he magnified his bloodline, his family line. Why? Because he said, verse 14, if by any means I may provoke to emulation them which are my flesh, and might save some of them. So he had to speak this way to provoke them to emulation, to provoke us to emulation, for us want to fight, want to do something about this. Okay? Look. For if the casting away of them be the reconciling of the world. So because we were casted away, reconciliation came unto the world. What shall the receiving of them be but life from the dead? It's only inevitable, because even though the Most High destroyed us, he didn't utterly destroy us. Okay? Utterly destroyed means beaten to a pulp, you're never to return again, and you're wiped off the face of the earth. That's not us in this case. We didn't get utterly destroyed. We got destroyed, but we didn't get utterly destroyed. So that's why he asked that question. What shall the receiving of them be but life from the dead, if we come back to him, right? Look at this. For if the first fruit be holy, the lump is also holy. See? And if the root be holy, so are the branches, which is us. We are the branches. Okay? We come from that royal bloodline, that holy bloodline that fell from grace. Now he's saying, if we decide to come back now, what do you think is going to be our position again? If you got all of that because I fell, I can't wait to see what I'm going to get when I come back. So all this talk about making America great again is all right. It's a good campaign, a good campaign. It's a good way to run your campaign, and yeah, let's make America great again. But yeah, let's talk about if it really is going to be great again. And if America was great again, let's talk about who helped America be great. And would America be great without these people? Let's talk about that. So if we want America to be great again, what do you think we should be doing with the people that made America great? Shouldn't that be a conversation? But that's just good old Esau undermining us, as he usually does. Undermining the fact that he couldn't do it without us. As much as Edom hate us and want the promise. That's the crazy part, right? Excuse me. That's the crazy part. As much as he want to destroy Jacob and don't want Jacob to get the promise, you still need us. It's crazy how the Most High made that happen. The Most High is funny. You can't stand us, but you need us. Right, brothers and sisters? So we got to understand it was never about, when they talking about reparations, it was never about giving us anything. This is the reason why they will openly have these conversations, blasted on all news medias, have conversations, have our people sitting down debating if we should get it or not, which is insane. I don't know how you could be a quote unquote black and be against reparations for your people. I don't know how that works, but you know, even in slave days and slavery times, there was always what's called a house Negro. They always had them. They want to get in good with Massa, so Massa could treat them a little better. But at the end of the day, in Massa eyes, you still a slave, boy. You do one thing wrong in this house, I send you right back in that field. Don't make me talk again. Right? So in any situation, there was always a house Negro. So even to this day, they're still house Negroes. It's unfortunate, but hey, that's just what it is. Right? So I'm saying all this to say, brothers and sisters, do not wait for these people to do anything for you and your family. You can't do it. It's not going to work. There's so much, even though we're not getting the reparations, right? Which I'm not banking on. I don't care less we get it or not. We still surviving. We still living, right? Even though we're not getting the reparations and it's not going to be afforded to us, we still live in a system that has opportunity to do things for your family. So don't just sit around pouting. Don't just sit around pouting, okay, and blaming the government for everything. Because the government is not in your brain right now. The government don't live in your house. The government don't work with your hands. That's you. And Christ knew that about us. Christ said it all the time. Christ knew it. That's why he had to speak life into us. Because we've been so, can you just imagine a people for centuries trodden down, beaten, one captivity after the next. We enslaved in Egypt, left Egypt, all right? Went back into slavery, okay? Under the Babylonians, come out. Go back in slavery under the Persians, come out. Go back into slavery again under the Greeks and Romans, come out. Still under slavery, still under oppression. Do you know what that does systematically to the minds of an individual who's only been oppressed only and can only see oppression? And oppression is not a physical thing. It's really a state of mind. It's really a state of mind. Because there are some of our people out there who are thriving in America and can make things happen. They may not get to the pinnacle to where Esau is, but the opportunity is there. And those people didn't wait for a handout. So all of that talk about the reparations, that's just to keep us distracted and keep us arguing and fighting. While we arguing and fighting and waiting for the kingdom to just fall out of the sky, Esau is plundering the earth, using all the earth's resources, and we just watching Esau do it. It's not impossible. It's only impossible in your mind. And we have to get out of that mindset as if the world is ending tomorrow. We know we're in the last days. We know the world is going to end. But does that mean you do nothing? That doesn't mean you do nothing. That doesn't mean you sit down and wait for the sky to fall. You have to do something because it's in you to do it. You can do it. It's possible. And it's crazy because I was sitting out and not to say that the statistics and the numbers is not staggering when it comes to wealth in this country, when it comes to, and you know, when you look at our people, when it comes to wealth. I was sitting down yesterday talking to one of my business partners, and he was telling me, he was like, yo, do you know that in America, 2 million African Americans account as in the statistics as millionaires in this country. So there's only 2 million of us compared to the whole country. So it's not that it's impossible, right? It may be more of a job to do it, work to do it, but it can be done if you know the right things to do. So we can't sit here and wait for no dang 40 acres and no dang mule. Why I need a mule if I can get a horse? But one thing about a mule is a really intelligent being, not being, but creature. Okay, so I ain't gonna downplay a mule, but you know what I mean. I want a horse. Okay. So once again, brothers and sisters, I wanted to make this announcement again. I wanted to make this announcement, 2 announcements one more time really quickly. Right, that I'll put this on the screen first. Where am I? Right here. So much different prompts. So the Hebrew and Bible Academy, right, will begin this Sunday, July 12th. If you are interested, visit us at historytimes.org so you can enroll. Right, definitely enroll. It's very, very informative information. Okay, you'll definitely be enlightened, right? And also tomorrow I'm releasing, or is premiering, my little documentary. I'm doing a 4 episode documentary titled Erased Faces of History. It will be premiering tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. All right, so make sure you guys there. It will be, you can see the channel will be there on the Born Levi Experience YouTube channel, right? So you can head over there and subscribe there, and also make sure you tune into that. Catch it tomorrow. It'll be premiering live tomorrow, 6:30. Erased Faces of History. The first episode 1 is the Broken Nose Mystery, right? Very exciting, very exciting. Don't want to miss out. All right, so definitely those are my 2 announcements for this evening, for tonight, and that's basically my time as well too. So definitely I appreciate everybody's attendance. Thank you guys. Let me clap it up for y'all because y'all did a great job hitting that like button. Also, please share this broadcast, share this content with other people, let them join this conversation as well too. Because listen, this is a real conversation, man. But we can't use this conversation to fight and bicker, going back and forth. What he's not doing, what you're not doing. Nah, this conversation is to motivate, self-motivation, or for me to motivate you guys, to push you guys to do certain things, because we could do it. It's not that it's impossible. We just haven't seen much of us doing it, but we could do it. We could do a lot with the amount of time that we got left. Okay, and if we don't get a chance to accomplish everything that we want to accomplish, because the sky will fall, then let the sky fall. But don't sit around and not do anything waiting for the sky to fall. That's what I want to say, okay? Yeah, man. So I really hope this conversation was definitely, edifying for you all. And, I know y'all seen the title and it looks interesting. Make America Great Again. Yeah, we're gonna talk about it. How America was great. How are we gonna make it great again? Even though we know we can't, is doomed. Okay? Right? Read the book of Revelations. Listen, Revelations 18. She's fallen. Right? But we gotta address, right? How America was great. What made America great? And that's the conversation they don't want to talk about. They don't want to address the very large elephant in the room. And that large elephant in the room is we got rich off of these black people and we didn't pay them. I wonder how they, I was going to say, I wonder how they sleep at night. They sleeping just fine. Like, what am I talking about? These people are sleeping just fine. Okay? They sleeping just fine, man.
You could be anywhere in the world, but you're now tuned into the Born of Levi experience.
So yes, this is my time. I appreciate you all for coming in. I really do appreciate you guys, man. I really do appreciate you guys for coming in. The encouraging words, all of the activity in the chat. Shout out to the chat, man. Oh, wrong sound bite. But shout out to the chat. Clap it up for the chat. Shout out to all of the weekly viewers. I appreciate you all. Continue to pray for us. Continue to keep us in your prayers. Because listen, we all need prayer, man. That's our lifeline, especially in this time. Dealing with life, dealing with work, school, if you have school, your children, just dealing with life. Period is tough. But I thank the Most High, truly do thank the Most High for still giving us the zeal, still giving us the energy and the drive to continue to do Christ's work, because it's not easy. It's not easy to do it in this time period that we're living in. But listen, we doing it for the reward for the reward at the end. So let's continue to keep our hands on the plow. Let's continue to show the world that, listen, Christ do exist, and we are his people, and look what Christ's people could do on this earth. That's our mission statement. Okay? So bless you all. And have a good night. So everybody, please have a blessed night. Have a blessed day tomorrow. Have a blessed Shabbat. And if it be the Most High's will, I will see you all on the next one. Next week, Thursday. Okay? If it be the Lord's will. And don't forget to tune in to the world premiere of Erased Faces of History. I'll put it on the screen one last again. Visit us at the Born of Levi Experience on YouTube. We will be premiering that. It's going to be a four episode series. I may even continue it. Who knows? Depending on how well it gets, how well it does, and the feedback. I may continue it, because there's so much different ideas I have in my mind, but it's just the time and money to do these things. So piece by piece, I ain't gonna quit. Right? So bless you all. Have a good night, and I'll see you all next week. Shalom. Shalom. Peace and blessings. Love you all. Stay prayed up. Sin not. Watch ye therefore and pray always. Peace out.
Are you tired of reading the Bible and not really understanding what it means? Yo, you know you're reading the book upside down? I need a teacher. I got the perfect solution for you. The Hebrew and Bible Academy got you all covered. There, you'll learn the original Hebrew language with Elder Lawya, groundbreaking news from around the world with Elder Rawchaa, and all new up-to-date lessons, including ancient history with Elder Rawchaa. Visit us at historytimes.org and enroll there. The Hebrew and Bible Academy. You're invited.